Hey, what's up guys, I'm Video, and today I'm going to be talking about what could the Boston Celtics possibly win the NBA Finals if Gordon Hayward can't come back and get healthy. Because as you know, unless you've been living under a rock or Patrick Starr, you would know that Gordon Hayward did get injured and most likely will not be coming back. But there is a chance that he's coming back, as he did just now get out of the walking boot that just came out. So I mean, there is a chance he comes back. No one knows for sure if he will or not. But I'm going to be talking about if he does come back, can they win the NBA Finals? So without further ado, without me rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. So before I get into what the Celtics would look like with Gordon Hayward, let's get into what the Celtics already look without Gordon Hayward on the court. With him being injured right now, what do the Boston Celtics actually look like? Well, right now, they have the second best record in the NBA, and also they are the best in their conference. They have the best record in their conference, right ahead of Cleveland, but Cleveland is closing in kind of quickly, so no telling if that's going to stick. But as of right now, they do have the best record in the conference, and they are also heavily favored to meet the Cleveland Cavaliers in the conference finals to play, well, the Cavaliers and see how that goes. And also the first game of the year was obviously against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you could tell once that star small forward that is Gordon Hayward went down, LeBron had an absolute field day. They had absolutely no one that could even attempt to slow down LeBron. The dude on his first game had 29 points, 9 assists, and 16 rebounds. One assist away from a triple-double. He did have a double-double, and obviously the Cleveland Cavaliers won 102-99 that game. But it showed that Gordon Hayward not being on the Celtics, not being able to be on the court, really did hurt them when they had to guard another elite small forward, which is LeBron, who just so happens to be the best player to ever live. So I mean, they need Gordon Hayward to even compete with the Cleveland Cavaliers, in my opinion. So I do think, I mean, with Gordon Hayward, they will be able to compete, obviously. But also, without Gordon Hayward, they are struggling tremendously on offense. Right now, they are 20th. They're ranked 20th right now in offense. But that struggle did not carry over to defense, luckily for them, as they are ranked number 2 in defense right now, only giving up 98.19 points per game, and that's only 0.19 points away from being first, right in front of the Spurs. And obviously the Spurs are going to be first. They're the most defensive and fundamentally sound team in the entire NBA. And the big reason they're having such success right now without Gordon Hayward is because the backup rookie Jason Tatum has extremely excelled being in the spotlight and having to start where Gordon Hayward would have started. As right now he is averaging 13.8 points per game, 1.5 assists per game, and 5.7 rebounds per game. And right now he is a great player, and he is only a rookie as of right now. If it wasn't for Ben Simmons, he could probably win Rookie of the Year, but unfortunately Ben Simmons is there, so I doubt he wins. So without Gordon Hayward on the floor, at least they know they have Jason Tatum to back him up, who's an extremely great player, and he has shown that time and time again already. But now that we got into what the Celtics are without Gordon Hayward, let's get into what if Gordon Hayward did come back, what they would be then. Well, right now they would have a small forward that can at least slow down LeBron. I mean, the first game was absolutely ridiculous. No one could even touch LeBron on that court once Gordon Hayward went down. Gordon Hayward is a good defensive player and offensive player, obviously, so at least he'll be able to attempt to slow down LeBron. He won't be able to stop LeBron. No one in the league can stop LeBron. But if you can have another elite small forward on LeBron, that helps all the time. Maybe he won't be able to take over the game like he always does. Maybe he would miss a couple more shots that he wouldn't. Maybe you can take advantage of those. And also they would have tons of help on offense. Like, Gordon Hayward has proven that he's one of the best shooters in the league, one of the best offensive scorers in the league just in general. The dude averages 21.1 points per game. The dude's a great scorer, and I mean, he shoots 39% from 3 and also, he shoots 47% from the field. So obviously their offensive ranking would go extremely up and help them win a lot more games. And I mean, that scoring will obviously help them, because yes, you have defense, but defense isn't always going to win you championships. You also need your offense to back it up, because there's no point in playing great defense but not being able to make up for it on the other end. So really, you need great offense, and he is that great offensive player. So that's obviously going to help him a ton. But also, this would probably give them one of the best benches in the entire NBA. Because, y'all might be like, what do you mean? Well, their bench is already pretty strong. But then you add Gordon Hayward to that, which would kick his backup Jason Tatum, a potential Rookie of the Year candidate, to the bench. Could you imagine Jason Tatum coming off the bench? This bench would be deadly, as they would, if he did come off the bench, this would be their bench. Jason Tatum, Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart, and Aaron Baines. 3 of those 4 players are averaging over 9 points per game, and then Aaron Baines, the only player that's not, is averaging 5.6 rebounds per game, and has shown that he's an extremely solid backup center or power forward for Al Horford. So let's be honest, this dude, their bench is already strong, and then you add Jason Tatum, it's pretty much over. Their bench is going to be better than almost anyone else's bench in the entire NBA. But then also, could they actually win the finals? That's the big question with Gordon Hayward. Could they win the finals? I do think they could win the conference finals against Cleveland Cavaliers. I would still have the Cavs winning, but with Gordon Hayward being able to at least kind of slow down LeBron, score a little bit, then Kyrie, he probably has the edge over Isaiah Thomas, Al Horford, and Kevin Love. It just depends who's hot that day. And then I think it would come down to the bench, and I do think the Celtics have a better bench. So really, it could go either way, and I could see the Boston Celtics winning that conference finals. But then when you get to the finals, Kevin Durant, he's not better than LeBron, but I don't think Gordon Hayward matches up as well. I think Gordon Hayward matches up better with LeBron than he does with Kevin Durant, which is weird to say, but I do think Kevin Durant would be more of a struggle to guard than LeBron for Gordon Hayward. And also, Kevin Durant's more lengthy, so he might be able to lock down Gordon Hayward even more. And then you also have Steph Curry on Kyrie Irving, and I do think Steph Curry and Kyrie Irving are pretty even, so whoever's hot right there, that could decide it. But then also Draymond Green on Al Horford. I think Draymond Green is a better player. Then they have no one to really guard Klay Thompson, and their bench is as strong as the Celtics would be, even with Gordon Hayward. So I don't think they could win the finals. I'm not saying they wouldn't, but I don't think they would win. I do think they could make it to the finals. I don't know if they would be able to win it. So before I end off the video, let's recap a little bit. So the Celtics without Gordon, they're having a pretty good season as they're number 1 in their division right now. Barely above the Cavs, but they are above the Cavs. And also they have the second best record in the entire NBA. That's pretty good. And they are already heavily favored to make the conference finals and make a rematch between the Cavs and the Celtics. And also they did lose to Cleveland after Gordon Hayward did go down, showing that they do need Gordon Hayward to even compete with him, or LeBron's just going to go off. And also, I mean, they're struggling offensively without Gordon Hayward, and when Gordon Hayward is probably their best offensive player on the team when healthy. And then also, his replacement member has been extremely great. Jason Tatum, the rookie, has been extremely great, but he's just not old enough or experienced or good enough to compete with LeBron James, so they do need him back. But then if Hayward did come back, on the other hand, they would be really good at offense. He would be able to slow down LeBron. He's an extremely good shooter. I mean, that offensive ranking would go all the way through the roof. It would give them a really good bench, and they would give them a fighting chance in the conference finals, and it would give them a puncher's chance in the NBA finals. So comment below, guys, if you do agree with me. Do you think if Gordon Hayward come back, they could make the finals? Do you think they could win? Do you think they would lose the Cavs? Do you think they would even make the conference finals? Do you think Gordon Hayward's going to come back? Comment on that below. And also, if you did like the video at any point, hit the like button, and also hit the subscribe button if you really like the video. Kids, don't think about you either. Remember, never do vegetables, always do drugs. Stay safe, Reese, Goodbye.